What is up, swimmers and swammers? We are here for day 3 finals of the 2023 World Championships in Fukuoka, Japan. I'm Coleman Hodges, holding down this live stream as always. We're going to be joined by a slew of guests today. We got Gold Medal Mel Stewart coming in shortly. We've got Annie Lazor, the new assistant coach at the University of Florida, coming in at some point. We might even have a couple other special guests, including Josh Davis, who was with us yesterday, as well as Mr. David Berkoff, whose daughter is swimming in the 100 backstroke final tonight. So stick around. We're going to have some fun people popping in and out. If you missed prelims this morning, nothing crazy happened except for one thing, honestly. Well, a couple of things. Kin Hai Yang was 26:34 in the 50 breast. He took the top seed, 0.3 ahead of Niccolò Martinenghi, who was second of Italy. But other than that, you kind of got all the usual suspects in there. Sam Williamson from Australia had a great swim. Joel Gomez from Brazil. Nick Fink's in there. Simone Cerasuolo from Italy. Casper Corbeau makes the final. Peter Stevens of Slovenia. Emery Sachi makes the semifinal. So that's going to be a good semifinal. The U.S. only had one entry in that men's 50 breast. I guess because Josh Matheny was our only other breaststroker and he didn't have an A cut, which is what I assume, or maybe he just didn't want to swim it. Women's 200 free pretty much went as expected. Molly O'Callaghan of Australia, top seed. Summer McIntosh had a good swim, 55.8. She's second. Titmus, Siobhan Howie, Merritt Steenbergen, Freya Anderson, Liu Yajin of China. Let's see here. Bella Sims and Claire Weinstein are 11th and 12th seed heading into the semis. And then going into the men's 2 fly, again, pretty much as expected for the semifinals. Tomorrow Honda of Japan, 154.2 is the top seed. Alberto Rossetti of Italy is in there. Krzysztof Chmielewski of Poland is actually third seed. Arbidel Gonzalez of Spain had a great swim, 154.99 for second. But then Carson Foster, Leon Marchand, Thomas Heilman are 6, 7, 8. So Noe Ponte is in there at 12th. Ilya Karoun is 13th. Matt Temple of Australia snuck in there at 16th. So it's going to be a good semi. Men's 800 free was the surprise of the night because this field is so loaded. I'm just going to read the whole top 8. Sam Short of Australia had a phenomenal swim, 740.9. He's top seed. After that, we've got Ahmed Hafnawi, Lucas Martins, Daniel Whiffen, Bobby Fink, Mikhailo Romanchuk, Greg Paltrinieri, Guillermo Costa. That's your top 8 for the men's 800 free. And if you didn't think it could get any better than that, Florian Wellbrock was 9th. He didn't even make the final. He missed out by 7 100ths, got touched out by Guillermo Costa of Brazil. Again, by 7 100ths in prelims. So the man who won the 10K and the 5K, we thought he was going to have a stellar meet in the pool. And by all accounts, he still could. There's still the mile left, but he misses out on the 800 free final, which is a big surprise here. But holy bejesus, is that heat, is that 800 tomorrow going to be a fun one? So, all right, we got our first guest here. Josh, how's it going, man?
Good morning, Coleman. Good to see you again.
Good to see you again. Do you have morning practice again today?
Yep. Every morning at 7 a.m. is summer open swim.
Nice. That's fun. 7 a.m. seems like a perfect time for a morning practice.
Yeah, it's not bad. You get up at 6:30. Most kids live a minute away, so they just mosey on over. So if you're really good, you can get up like at 6:45 and still make it over on time.
And just roll out of bed into the pool.
Yeah. So is the 200 free first today?
The tuner free is first today. Ooh, and it's 6:01. I'm refreshing my Peacock stream because things should should be getting started, and they are, I believe. But yeah, men's 200 free is first. What are you excited to see out of this heat as a 200 freestyler, Josh?
Well, Popovich is the guy, and they got the Japanese drum in the town. I love those Japanese drums. But Luke is Dobson, trains at Texas. He had a great swim, his lifetime best. So hopefully he can go from strength to strength and gets his confidence and maybe gets a medal. I mean, that would be incredible for any American guys to get a medal because this heat is very, very tight.
This heat is really tight, and if an American guy can get a 200 free medal, I don't think we've won a long course medal in this event. I want to say it's been a while.
Yeah, because I think Connor got one.
Connor, yeah, that sounds right. Connor got one in Rio. Commenters, maybe you can help us out. I think it's been since Rio.
Yeah, that's crazy.
2017. I don't think we've had anyone. Yeah, has there been an American medal in the 200 free since 2016 Olympics in World Champs or Olympics? I don't think there has been, but if there has been, let us know, commenters.
That's a good trivia.
Yeah, we've got someone joining us from Brisbane. It's 9 p.m. in Brisbane right now. Here, let's put the comments up so we can get those going. Someone says I think that's right. Dwyer was the last one, so that'd be huge. First 200 free medal in 7 years. That'd be great. But just to go ahead, Josh.
I was gonna say that sounds crazy that we haven't had a guy medal in 200 free since. But
and we've had good 200 freestylers. Our men's 800 free relay was dominant last year, and I think that it has a very good chance of winning this year. But no one individually has kind of broken that seal.
Yeah. How old is Popovich now? Is he 18 yet?
He is. I think he's 19.
19.
So Christos Townley-Haas medaled in 2017.
There he is.
I'm just going to double check on that real quick. What's up, Mel? Mel,
what's up, guys? Good morning.
Good to see you, buddy.
Josh, did you get the link, or were you just like, hey, I want to watch the 200 free and I'm out?
No, you sent me the link yesterday and it got lost in my email box, so I forgot about it. Then I found it. So thank you.
Yeah. So Townley medaled in 2017. That was the last time American men won a 200 free medal on an international at a Worlds or Olympics.
So Townley was the last guy.
If Luke can do it today, first time in 6 years. So I don't know about you guys, but they were just marching out the 200 free, but now they went to commercial. What?
This is terrible.
I'm on commercial.
I got to refresh again.
All right, back.
I'm on start list. What? That was such a bad time for a commercial. Wow. So there's 2 Americans in this final. There's also 2 Koreans, Hwang Sun-woo and Lee Ho-jun.
Oh wow.
Good for Korea. So why is there another commercial happening?
Oh my gosh, you got to be kidding me.
This is what I think. I think if you turn on your Peacock, get your Peacock on, they're going to serve you a commercial. You're going to have to watch a commercial.
Makes me think you have to Peacock on.
Yeah, you have to watch a commercial. The Peacock makes you watch a commercial.
Okay, they're in.
But what? Oh my God! All right, we're back. They're in the water, and it's kind of tight.
Britain in the red cap.
Yep.
Oh, Popovich means business.
Yeah, Popovich is already out, and I like that Hwang Sun-woo is right next to him in lane 3, because those are the 2 guys, right?
Oh yeah, the Koreans are out.
And someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think we've seen Popovich pop anything off in 2023. This is going to be the first time we see what he's got.
Yeah, that's
I think he's
correct.
saved up.
This will be him at full power. I think his 144 from semis last night was his fastest time of the season. He's out in 50.1. So Kieran Smith was actually out second. Over down there all in lane 1. But I mean, they're really bunched up behind him. And Kieran actually looks pretty good heading into the 150.
He looks in a good spot for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that Korean's riding David's wave.
Oh man, he's right in the pocket. That's surfing. That is just the sweetest place to be.
Oh, who's the British guy who's up in lane 2 next to Kieran?
Matt Richards is in lane 2. Tom Dean is in lane 6. So wow, David's
Matt
tightening up. Huang Sun Wu is coming on, as is Matt Richards.
Oh, David's dying. Oh,
wow. Tom Dean. It's Tom Dean. He's coming in for the. It's Richards and then Dean. Oh my God. Britain 1-2. Wow. Huang 3rd. Popovich is off the podium.
Who would have guessed?
Popovich, he slipped to 4th in the last 10 meters?
Yeah. I mean, that's just a very uncharacteristic swim compared to last year.
That's why we love the 200-meter freestyle. So much drama. So much happens.
This Matt Richards, I'm not that familiar with him, but his last 50 last 100 was great. He built the 3rd 50, and he fought hard that last. It was a beautiful swim.
That was a beautiful swim. So let's to give some context on Matt Richards. He was a member of Britain's gold medal 800 free relay in Tokyo. He had a great split there. Last year, he had a down year. I think he was going through some personal stuff. So he didn't swim well. I don't even think he made the World's team. And I know they had Commonwealth Games and European Championships last summer as well. So he might have swam at those meets, but didn't do great. But then this year, he has had a real comeback season. He was at the Pro Swim in Fort Lauderdale at the beginning of March. And I believe he won the 100 and 200 freestyle there exactly like he did here. His last 50, his last 25 meters were his bread and butter. So he's had a great season. He qualified individually at British trials for the 200 free, which is no small feat, considering that I don't remember if he won or got second to Tom Dean, but they both beat Duncan Scott, who's also an incredible 200 freestyler. And so yeah, he's had a great year. I don't know if he's swimming the 100 free individually also, but hats off to him.
I'm curious how tall he is. He doesn't look as tall as the other guys. Tom Dean looks really tall. Kieran's really tall. Popovich is really tall, but
he's not that tall. I mean, I'm 5'8".
2 100s, 44.30, 44.32.
So Popovich fell all the way to 144.9.
Yeah, that's but it makes it makes you wonder: is he going to have more speed in the 100, or is he just not as conditioned this year?
Yeah, I mean, he was out in 50 point. That's kind of seemed more like a mental thing to me. And I could be wrong. Maybe he missed his taper, but he was out in 50.1. That's what he should have been out.
Well,
that's what you got to go out and to go 143.
You got to give some kudos. Hobson, a world champ, 145.09. Solid swim.
Hobson has been 145.0, I think, a few times now. He's right there at that 144 mark, which I mean, Kieran has been 144 leading off a relay, but we haven't had an American go 144, I think, since Phelps and Lochte.
Yeah, just as we're, I don't know if you guys are seeing the graphic with the most individual world titles, which looks like it's pulled directly from Swimming Stats, powered by SwimSwam. I think it looks exactly like that graphic. Anyway, Ryan
Does.
Lochte popped up there. Coleman, I reached out to Ryan to see if he would have a chat with us, because Michael Phelps' world records are gone, but Ryan Lochte's record still exists, at least for now, in the 200 IM.
I stand corrected. Thank you, commenters. You guys are the best. Hobson went 144.8 in semis, so he got under the barrier.
Yep. But he's been very consistent, and that's where he wants to be heading into trials. Thanks, David.
It is. What I'm pointing. Oh, that was MS Justin. I think David Clossie was talking about
That would
Popovich.
be
Anyway,
on the show 200 IM.
that would be fun. What I'm hearing is we might have a Ryan Lochte sighting.
I hope he comes on. He's Ryan's pretty excited. He's doing that age group world championships in December, and he is all in on that and excited to do it. He's got a lot of support, and I love the idea. The interesting metric is that, did you think that we would live in a world where Michael Phelps, his world records would all be eclipsed, but Lochte's would still exist? That 154 flat 200 IM still there. Let's talk about Popovich for 1 second. Popovich was out in 50.1 to the feet. Okay, he still might pop off a great hunter freestyle.
He might, but the thing is that he is such a back half swimmer, and his last 3 50s were 26.4, 26.6, very normal, 28.1. And I'm wondering if that last 50 was a fluke, or if that's where where his conditioning is at right now, because that's his thing, right? It's like he can't, even if he has speed in the 100 freestyle, there's a lot of guys who have speed, and how he broke his world record is that last 50.
Yeah.
Any chance Marchand can throw down a 153 200 IM? It sounds unfathomable, says MS Justin. I also think it sounds unfathomable. I don't think it's happening at this meet.
I don't know. Here's the thing. This is what you got to look at. His underwaters, his underwaters are crazy. And a 200 IM is 450 sprints. He's trained yards now for his second year under Bob Bowman. I think it's within range. I know it's a huge drop for him. What did he win world champs with? 155 low, 2022.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a big drop.
Two, I think.
It's a big drop, but it's it could happen. Bob's been talking to him about it. You know that their heads have all been together. Phelps' is probably meandering around on deck, putting his head together, going, Lochte's record still exists. You have to take that.
He's just following Leon around, giving him advice, giving him play-by-play advice every 10 minutes.
I see a different scenario in my mind. The way it works, he's got the top knot, and he sits back like a Buddha on the deck, and then Popovich, and then Marchand walks up to him, and he just leans in and says 153.9. He just whispers it in his ear and backs away.
And Leon goes, "Yes, Sensei."
Something like that. In the Arizona sun, it's a spiritual moment.
Phelps does look like a true Arizona man now, doesn't he?
He's feeling himself. We've got to be supportive of this.
I love his hair.
I'm down with it. I think we need more of that in swimming. It feels very on brand.
I do too. As the man with ever-changing hair. Just to give an update, we're 150 meters into the women's 1500 free, and Katie Ledecky is under world record pace.
So did we pulled some predictions, and I'm going to go back and actually look at the predictions. I predicted her I was predicting her at 15:23, which is pretty big swim. She's currently faster than that right now, but most of our commenters were saying 15:26, 15:27. What do you think right now, Coleman, as we're at the 200 meter mark?
So She was 358 in the 400 free, but I do not think that is indicative of where she's actually at. I think she gamed that race. I think she swam it to win, not swam it to go a best time. She was 15:20. What was she in trials? 15:25? What's 15:27? Hold on. She swam fast at trials. I think it was under 15:30.
I'm looking
if
it up
not
right now.
right
Yeah,
at
she's in a great
15:30.
spot.
I think she could break a world
They showed a
record.
cool.
I think
They showed a.
they showed what?
Go ahead, Coleman.
I
Before
think
the race,
she
they
could.
showed all her times.
Okay. I think she's at least 15:23 here. I think she's in great form. She's been focusing more on the 800 and 1500 because that is where she makes her money. And I think Florida, she's gotten used to the Florida training now. I'm saying 23-18. I think a world record is possible.
So at trial, at U.S. Nationals, which World Champ trial, she was a 15:29. She won by 29 seconds. I think the most interesting thing about Katie, as she's swimming here, as she's being dominant in her 6th World Championship, is that she's swimming through 2028, and I think she keeps the 800 and the 1500 on lock through 2028. And we're going to be talking about her the way we were talking about Phelps in terms of metrics and trying to define her career when we're on the ramp up to Los Angeles. I think that swimming is very unique, and we're lucky to have such iconic stars. But she's slipping off the world record as I'm watching right now. Where are you guys at in the stream?
I'm at the same place. She's about to flip at the 400, but I mean, dude, she's flipping at 4:05.0. That's most people can't do that in a 400. So that we also have the split screen right now. So her teammate Katie Grimes is up in lane 1. She's running 4th, and they just had a replay of when Katie Grimes won bronze in the 10K open water earlier this meet, which not only means she earned a bronze medal, but it means she qualified for the 2024 Paris Olympics, the first American to do so in the 10K open water. And it was such a cool moment to see her excitement, her joy, her family's excitement, her coach's excitement. All her teammates and family were jumping up and down and screaming and hugging. And it was just a very heartwarming moment. I almost got a little emotional there. But it was a nice replay. Katie Grimes is the defending world's silver medalist in this event. So right now she's about in 5th. I think the world has caught up a little bit in this event, but we'll see how she does.
I'm popping over here to see if our buddy David Berkoff, my Olympic teammate, is going to drop in to see his daughter. He's in Oregon, so it's early for him. Maybe he'll kick in here. He's told me 3 times yesterday, I'm gonna come on to see my kid.
What is the 100 back next?
Let's see. We've got two. We've got the 50 breast semi and then the 100 back final. So it's in 2 events. So he's gotta get in here if he's gonna see her. but as MS Justin aptly points out, it is so early in Oregon.
A year ago. So Mel, a year and a half ago, I was in Tennessee at SEC Champs, and I sat on the Mel Stewart bench, and then
I've sat on that bench.
In between prelims and finals, all the pros like Katie Ledecky that were at SECs to cheer on their teammates were working out. And so I got in and I swam a few lanes over from her. That was as close as I could get without being creepo. And I wanted to just be in the same water as Katie Ledecky. And just for an hour and a half, she just was going all out by herself. I'm so impressed with her desire to help her teammates, to be at SEC cheering and serving and on her teammates, yet she didn't miss she still swam twice a day, SECs, pretty much by herself, just pounding the yardage, doing the grind, and all the time, so poised, so full, so smart. I mean, just to have a total package like Katie is really, really wonderful on the USA team, and to have her continuing to explore her gifts and, just do show for every time. It's incredible what she does.
David Clossie asked the question that I was thinking as you were talking about that. Did you jump into the water so you could have some sort of quantum entanglement, or like her spirit would slip onto you and you could close your 200 freestyle a little better at US Masters Nationals? I think that was really what was going on.
Definitely.
It's the interesting thing is on that topic is that is Caleb Dressel. He pieced out of World Champs in 2022. Didn't make a statement, told nobody nothing, wouldn't make any. Everyone tried to reach out and get an answer from him. He wouldn't do that. He didn't do it until he showed up at World Championships, and he got a little pushback from a lot of fans and media, and it was I think it was a little bit awkward and uncomfortable. And the one person who stepped up and kind of came to, and he didn't perform at a level that people expected, and the one person that stepped up and defended him was Katie Ledecky, and it was all about leadership. And I was like, whoa, we are seeing an Olympic superstar coming to their full power and really using it in places where it matters. Where are we at in this race?
Well, hold on. Ledecky absolutely came to his side. So did like every other swimmer that was asked about.
Yes, but Ledecky sounded. So Ledecky delivered wisdom. She's just like, hey, this is who he is, and this is his value, and you don't see you don't see that aspect of him the way we do. I thought it was pretty moving.
I absolutely agree. She gave the most insightful answer about Caleb, but I wanted to clear up that like there weren't other people being like, oh, Caleb should have done this or done that or.
Yes, but Katie Ledecky swims in practice with him. She probably kicks his butt in practice every day, and she still is nice.
Like the coolest thing about that is that like I got to film them, a Florida Pro workout one time last February, but they've been training for 2 years together, and they don't do the same workouts, but they warm up together almost every day. It's like they swim in the same lane. There's video footage of it on SwimSwam. And they like David was saying, they share water to make each other faster. Oh, we've got our next guest. We are joined by Annie Lazor. Speaking of Florida.
Wow.
Hello. I know I had to pop in while my swimmer is still swimming. So,
dude, that's right. Well, she's still dominating. It looks like.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm gonna pull it up real quick.
Congrats, Annie.
Here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. Yes, it's a lot of new stuff right now, but all good things. It's been exciting and stressful, and it's been a lot, but I'm really excited. I've only been here maybe about like 3 weeks now, but I've been really enjoying it. And I'm already like, I think this next week I'll be at like my third meet in the last 3 weeks. So they're already putting me to work.
No kidding. So first of all, did you know you were going to go into coaching? Is this something you've been thinking about for a while?
So I knew coaching was always something I could do. I knew it was always something I'd be interested in, but, honestly, Coleman, like, I'm so competitive. I would really only want to coach like at, where I would be able to still be a part of swimming at the highest level. That's just kind of who I am, honestly. Nothing wrong with any other level of swimming. That's just what I know, where I know I feel like I would thrive. So this opportunity kind of presented itself to me, and I just kind of decided to go for it. I have known Anthony from being on trips with him the last few summers, and obviously know a lot of members of the pro team. I swam in the SEC as well too, so I have an idea of, you know, the kind of presence that Florida has on deck, and that was always something that I admired. And I just kind of decided to go for it, just based on the relationships I had with the coaches already on staff. I knew that our personalities would mesh well, and I knew it would be a place that I could really grow as a coach. And I feel like since I've accepted the job here, not only has, when I took the job here, it wasn't just me working for Anthony. It was very much so Anthony taking me under his wing. And when I went through this whole process, when I spoke to Ray about it, he was very, very supportive. So I'm really thankful for that. And still have an amazing relationship with him, and still have a lot of, I still really care about that program a lot, but I've been really excited to be here, and it's been a good start. And to be honest with you, I think if I made my husband live in Indiana for one more day, he might like leave me because he's from Brazil and he's done with the cold weather. So I had to make some changes, and it's a lot easier to get to his family from here as well too. So just a few different changes, but it's all good things. And I already know my first few weeks here that I made the right decision. So yeah.
That's so great to hear. What, Vinny's been in Indiana longer than you have, though, right?
He has.
He
He
went
came.
to Indiana.
Came in 2015, I think. So
Okay.
yeah, he was there. He moved back to Brazil last summer in 2022 after Worlds. So he's been back there for a year. So we're doing like kind of distance until after Paris, and then he'll move here. So yeah.
Nice.
Ultra distance.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it's been good. But yeah, I had to pop in towards the back end of this mile so I could watch my swimmer and give her some technique tips and tell you guys all about what she's doing.
Yeah, what's your coachly analysis of this swim that Ledecky is?
I mean, how much more can be said about Katie? You know what I mean? What can I say that hasn't already been said? I mean, the thing that I noticed the most about her, just from seeing her constantly at training camp. I was only here for a couple days while she was practicing, so can't really speak to that too much, honestly. But what can be said about her that hasn't already been said? The thing that I admire the most about her, both now as a coach, but mostly as her peer, is that I'm not sure people realize how impressive it is, her drive and motivation at this point in her career, and her willingness to still want to be the best in the world and continue to better herself when she's already so far ahead of everyone else, and she's already accomplished everything anyone could possibly imagine doing in a career tenfold, you know? And she still has the same drive now that she probably did, I'm guessing, before she ever won a gold medal. So I think people kind of don't realize that part of it. It's hard to still, I know Lily has spoken about it too a few times. Like, she went through a lull where she didn't have that same kind of motivation that she used to have after she won, after she broke a world record, you know. And it never really seems like Katie has ever lost that. And that's really impressive.
No kidding. Speaking of which,
big 6 big kick on this final 50. Where are you guys at in the race?
Oh, it's done.
Oh, I'm way behind.
Sometimes if you refresh, you can catch up a little bit. I think Peacock kind of lags sometimes.
Yeah, I'm on Peacock right now.
Yeah, she had a insane last underwater. That was like a Leon Marchand underwater.
His last underwater, he almost kicked past 15.
I know.
I couldn't believe it.
On a 400 IM, like, can you even imagine trying to do that?
Never in my life. Never. 15:26 for Katie is a really good swim. I think she's going to be really happy with that.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
It's her third best.
She looked very
ever,
excited. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's a great time.
Her third best ever.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit bitter, and I have to just say this
So top
because all
three,
the
top four
SwimSwam
of her life.
commenters
So I
got
know
this
she's gonna
right.
be happy with that. 20.
The SwimSwam commenters called her at a 15:26 several weeks ago, and they got it right. Yeah, that was great swim.
Pumped.
It's a pretty impressive guess.
Yeah. I got trigger happy. I thought I predicted faster, and the SwimSwam commenters got it right. But that's a great swim. That's a really
anything
great
under
swim.
30 is really good. So 26 is huge. So Annie, what you were saying, this is her 10th year of basically swimming by herself in the mile.
Yeah. Can
10
you imagine?
years, and
I can't.
she's still motivated, still dominating. It's just fascinating.
Let's bring it back. Let me bring it back to Annie, because this is just an observation. I feel like breaststrokers are in their heads a little more than other swimmers. I feel like breaststroke is sort of a golf swing. It's got to be right. The neural pathways have got to be
cerebral stroke.
fixed. And but there's no way to get out of your head when you're training for the mile. I don't know if there's any sort of parallel there, but you must feel like she's a kindred spirit.
I would say Ray's. I'm watching Katie's celebration replay. I love when Katie gets pumped because she's like so level. Like she never gets too high, never gets too low. So when she like slaps the water and gets excited, that like amps me up. You know, I love it. But yeah, I would say practices I would do with Ray would some of them you'd walk in and be like, how am I going to get through 12 300s right now? 3 kick, 3 pull, 3 double pull out, 3 negative split swim. Like it just seems like such a beast sitting in front of you. And I think the closest thing I have to that comparison, what Katie, trains through every day, is like when the college kids are tapering or are at conferences or NCs and it's just me and Lily. And we look at each other and we're like, I don't know how we're going to get through this right now, because giving us this practice when our motivation right now is like at an all-time low is brutal. So that's really the closest thing I have to compare it to. But yeah, I definitely say you're right with breaststrokers. Like it's either like, it is kind of like golf swing. You're either clicking that day or you're shooting 68 or you're shooting 100. Like there's no in between.
I think breaststrokers make good coaches. I think that they're a different breed, and they were always my roommates. They were my roommates in high school and college and at the Olympics. And I think that they're just insightful, and I think there's so much mastery that you have to bring to that specific stroke. So I expect great things.
I'll try to live up to that for sure. I mean, I think being a breaststroker, like obviously there's so many breaststrokers that like can only do breaststroke and that's it. I was lucky enough in my younger years of swimming where I was quite a decent IMer as well too. So I at least had that going for me. But even throughout the last few years, I've had to train everything still at IU. I do threshold Tuesdays and it's not pretty. So, I definitely still understand like training a lot of other things as well too, because I have to, I can't swim breaststroke every day.
No. On Peacock, they just threw up that graphic that with Ledecky coming even with Michael Phelps at 15 world records. And, the funny thing is that a few years
15 world titles.
15 world titles, excuse me, 15 world titles. Thanks for correcting me. But it's a few years ago, we were kind of getting loose and saying, hey, Katie Ledecky, the greatest female freestyler of all time, the greatest freestyle of all time. And people got really upset about that. Are people going to be getting upset with us when we use the, yeah, you get a lot of pushback. You get a lot of pushback from,
but who else would it be?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm like, come on.
I can't think of anyone that has that many accolades, that has the career in the format that she's had. I mean, some people may say Sun Yang, but I mean, you can't really, it's hard to validate much of his career at this point, given what he's been going through outside the pool.
I'm going to share with you a little something that you guys can. This is just one more reason to say, sit down, Boomer. Older Olympians, when they get together, sometimes with their heads together and say, you know, we probably would have gone to more Olympic Games. When I'm talking about Olympians from the 50s, 60s,
Oh, right.
70s, and 80s, and so when I say someone's the greatest ever, they'd throw out
Yeah.
names from their era and say, well, they would have gone to 2 or 3 more Olympics. And I'm like, yeah, but they didn't.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. I mean, I don't know how much you can speak to this, Mel, but I mean, I know I've been looking at all the IU banners for the last 5 years, and Mark Spitz is obviously everywhere. And I mean, I think during his time, like the late 60s, early 70s, like guys retired at 22, 23. Like there was no other choice. Like you were done after college. Like you swimming. I've even heard Rowdy talk about his time at Auburn and how like his extra time that he went trying to go to the Olympics in '84 because it was, because we boycotted 1980. Talking about him working as a bellhop like during the night shift at the Auburn Hotel, and he'd get home at 3 a.m. and then he'd have practice at 6. Like just because he wasn't making any money, So I've heard crazy stories like that.
Where are you guys are we in the water on the 50 breast?
Yeah. So Nick Fink's in the water and for heat 1 of the men's 50 breast semi.
I'm behind. He's still getting on the blocks for me.
Refresh. You know what I'm missing? No, watch it. Never. You want to watch every stroke.
Here we go.
Who is that?
Oh,
okay. So
the
Italians look good. This is a semi, not a final.
Hey, wait a second. Don't take it away from me. Don't take it away from me.
Sure.
I woke up 20 minutes ago.
Silver.
that finish in the 100 yesterday was crazy. It just seemed like Nick had a long stroke, Martineggi had a short stroke, and Arno timed it perfectly, and it was just boom. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah, that finish was wild and kind of again surprising because Nick had that long finish, and usually he's such a strong finisher, and it was like, oh no, like he might have timed it wrong, but.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to time it. It's hard to time it in that moment. You kind of have to time it like more like 10 meters out versus like 3 meters out. So but when you're in a world champ final, like there's either everything going through your head or nothing going through your head.
And either way, timing's just like, yeah, all right, it's going to happen. Dude, I'm always amazed at Nick Fink's first 15. He is so good off the blocks and on the pullout.
Mm-hmm. He's incredible off the blocks.
So Annie, what's your swimming status? Are you still gonna swim at all? Are you still training? Are you like, I'm out?
I'm out. I'm done.
You're done.
Yeah.
That's well, congrats then.
Thank
Does
you.
it feel good? Does it feel good? How does it feel?
It feels really good.
It's really good. When you're ready and it's over. And here's the thing: you don't have to be an elite. You don't have to be Annie Lazor to understand this.
Mm-hmm.
When you're ready to close the door on that, you're like, you know what? This is a new chapter. I'm gonna be developing new skills, and I'm not gonna experience as much pain. In some cases, you're like, oh, I'm gonna get a whole lot more sleep. Not for you. You're still gonna be on that same sleep schedule.
Yes, I will. That's fine with me. I don't mind getting up early. It's the getting up early and getting in a cold pool in Indiana in January when it's 20 degrees outside. That's what I don't like.
Yeah, it was that realization when you wake up in the morning and you're like, I don't have to do this.
No.
But it feels good. Good for you. I'm happy for you. And I'm really
you.
excited. I think that we need strong women in swimming and coaching.
Thank you. I have received the warmest welcome from coaches that I have known from being on trips with them and so forth. And Nesty told me that he received a lot of compliments, which really made, because, obviously stepping into this role, I have no college coaching experience. Yes. I've been in and around college coaching for 11 years. And I've, I feel like if I didn't feel like I was ready for it, I wouldn't have applied for this job. I feel like I'm very realistic. And I just felt like I would be a good fit. And I've observed for a long time and have learned the to-dos and the to-don'ts. And I just felt like I had been thinking about retirement for a few months before this job presented itself to me. So I just felt like everything kind of fell into my lap, not saying I didn't earn this, but just the pieces kind of all came together. So yeah, I'm happy.
You're gonna have a lot of experience. Wow, going with so much experience, and it's like, okay, yes, you were an elite, you achieved so much, but it's that understanding and language between you and your coach, and also people take this people don't take this into account when you're on the national team for so many years. You're working a lot across a lot of coaches and a lot of personalities, and you're seeing a lot of different modalities, and that affects you. You take it in, and you have those moments where you're going, I could have been with that coach, and they would have trained me this way. That's not going to happen for me, but you're aware of it, and you can take that into your coaching career. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally agree on that.
Is this Berkoff?
Yeah, I'm
This
tired.
is David Berkoff.
How did I know this is David Berkoff?
Can you see me?
No, I can't see you.
We
Sound
cannot
like
see you.
Just so you know, you're live on the stream, and
Wait, I think you need to flip your camera.
Oh wait, this is really early for me to be figuring stuff out.
that's what I thought. It's are you driving, buddy? Did you say you're driving?
No, I just
No,
woke up. It's 4:00 in the morning here.
This is great drama, and I appreciate you dropping in for us.
Why can't every place in the earth be on the same time zone? Where's the flat earthers here?
That'd be
Help me out.
nice.
As a graduate of Harvard, I think you know that this is all a conspiracy and that we're really living under a dome. You can tell you're in a super elite. You can tell the secret and say that the Earth is flat, and it's really all the same time zone.
All right, how am I going to do this?
David,
Really
I think you just need
great
to
swim from the
flip your
Chinese
phone
here,
camera.
26.2. It's a great swim.
Yeah.
26.2.
I can't believe how close. That's like the world record is 25.9, and that's an Adam Peaty world record.
I think that actually might have been the second fastest swim ever.
That guy's really good.
He is firing right now. I am impressed by him.
No kidding.
And I thought maybe in the 100, like since his 50 is so strong, I thought he might fall off at the end a little bit. And he actually extended his lead the second 50 yesterday. It was really impressive.
Can you see me like that?
No, it's still black for us.
Oh wow.
Annie, can I ask Annie a question? Annie, what do you think is going through Adam Peaty's head right now after witnessing this at World Championships, the 100 and these performances?
Good question. If I know Adam, I would say that he respects his competition, but he doesn't fear it, I would say. So I still think Adam knows what he's capable of. It's just a matter of like where he's at right now. I would say it's more important for him for where he's at outside of the pool than in the pool. So,
Annie, I'm just thinking of all the experience. I have so many things I want to bring up that people probably don't know about you. One of which, you were teammates with Adam Peaty.
yeah.
In the ISL, you were on the London Roar.
Yeah.
With Adam Peaty. So it's like, so when we ask you this isn't just as a breaststroker. Like, you've spent time with him.
Yeah.
In such a unique format.
Yeah, no, I love Adam. Adam actually really pleasantly surprised me when we were at ISL. I don't really know what I expected going into being a part of the London Roar, but I really wanted to work with Mel, and I really wanted to just kind of pick her brain and honestly like be a part of a team with a really strong female coaching presence. Like that was really attractive to me. So working with Adam for 6 weeks, I'm not really sure what I expected, but he really blew away any expectations I had, both about who he is as a person and as an athlete. So yeah, I really enjoyed my time with him and with Mel and that whole group. It was really an awesome experience. I wanted to take advantage of that time in the ISL, like just being teammates with people who I will never be teammates with ever on the international stage. So I was the only American on my team. It was awesome. Like I knew maybe 2 people on my team going into it. One of them was Vinny, thankfully. So like that was nice. But I didn't want to just be known as like Vinny's girlfriend. I wanted to like make my own people, you know? So, but I ended up being like one of the captains the seasons 2 and 3 with Adam and Kyle and Sydney and Emma, and it was awesome. It was an experience. I'm so glad I made that leap to just try something new and kind of put myself out there. You know, I really enjoyed it.
You were a captain as the only American on a team.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
so cool.
I was like,
Kudos to you.
okay.
Which
I didn't ask for it, but yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. We had a great group. It was me and Kyle and Sydney, James Guy, Emma, McKeon. Who else? I'm trying to think. Vinny, Duncan, Scott. Yeah, we had a good group. It was really, really fun. And I still talk to those guys all the time. So it's good to see them. When we were at we had the World Cup in Indy, they're like, all right, Annie, we're in your town. Like, what are we doing? So we had a big dinner and other festivities after the meet. It was a blast.
Where do you take people in Indianapolis? I'm so curious.
Yeah, so I took them to a restaurant called it's just like a little Mexican restaurant. It's kind of like around the corner from St. Elmo's. It's called Nada. It's a Mexican place that I really like. And then we went to this place afterwards called Howl at the Moon. Highly recommend. Yeah.
Okay. I've either been there or I've heard of Howl at the Moon, but Nada. I'm definitely checking that out.
It's really good. Yeah, it's a really cool scene, like for dinner earlier on in the night. Yeah,
nice.
It's a cool scene. So yeah, it was good. That's good. Yeah, and
Awesome.
Tom Dean was also on my team. Love Dino. He's awesome. We would play like team games together on nights when we were just like kind of bored. And Dino and I would always end up being paired together. He's truly like one of the nicest guys I've ever met in the sport of swimming. Like just a really nice guy, like a good guy. He's great. Really, really like him a lot. It's hard to cheer against him, even though their 4x2 has been beating our 4x2 for the last few years. But other than that, it's hard to cheer against him.
That's so great. David Berkoff, we can see you. And
Yay.
You're awake.
Sight for sore eyes. Yeah,
David, you nervous right now?
Am I?
Yeah.
I'm more tired than nervous. I mean, at this point, you know, I know Catherine knows she has the potential of making the podium, and so I know that if she executes well, she's going to be happy and she's going to maybe surprise some people. So I thought her start and turn were a little sloppy this morning. With the way she's been coming home lately, you know, she's in the race. She might be a spoiler. So
I agree.
You know, things happen at big meets, so you never know. She's been really focusing on the 100 this year, so it's good to see her dropping time and kind of bringing her long course down to where her short course is. And that's been her goal for the last year, is really kind of to start to focus on long course. So I know she's doing the work. And so if I was 10 years younger, I'd probably be unable to sit in this chair. But as I've gotten older, I've gotten a little more mellow. So it's you know, I'm just waiting for the result and, you know, excited for her.
Yeah, that's awesome. How did she feel about Ryan coming to train with her now at NC State?
You know, the first thing I heard when I heard that Ryan was thinking about coming to NC State, and was, wow, that's interesting. And you know, they grew up racing each other because Ryan was from Utah and Catherine grew up in Montana, and so they raced each other every year for years at our Northwest sectional meet, and they've had a great rivalry, and she seems like a really wonderful person. So I thought, well, that sounds like a perfect training partner to have, because Catherine's training partner was Kylie Allons, and Kylie is like one of the best trainers in the world. I mean, she just goes all the time. So for Ryan to come and kind of fill that void is, I think, very fortunate. So it's gonna, I think it's gonna turn out well. It's gonna be, knowing what one of your rivals is doing every day can be good and bad, but it'll be good.
Don't I know it? Don't I know it?
Yeah, exactly.
That was one of the coolest storylines at trials. I feel like is to see Ryan White after the move to NC State, just like a month or two prior. I think it was weeks out from trials, and then to have her make the team in the 2-back, and then to see Berkoff, her training partner, Catherine, make the team as well, and both of them have great meets was really cool.
And then having the youngster Kennedy Noble just drop bombs and not too far off from making the team too is really exciting. So they're gonna have a great training group.
Just let me ask a question. Do you have your Peacock on, and where are you at in the stream?
The French girl just walked out.
Okay. This is your kid in the final. I don't want to tell you what happened before, if our stream is further along.
Are you ahead of me?
No, I don't
think so.
You can refresh so that we're all sort of in the same place.
Yeah, Kylie Massey just walked out.
Yeah, now we've got Catherine walking out.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, there she is.
Okay, she's got the thumbs up. That's good.
She didn't pop her tooth out like last year.
No, maybe she'll do that at the end.
What is the deal with that? I saw like a picture of that, and I was like, wait a second.
The story of that is when she was, I think, 7 or 8 years old. No, she must have been 5 or 6. She'd just gotten a mountain bike, and she wanted to go mountain bike riding. So I took her mountain bike riding on Easter Day, and we come down this really steep hill, and I just said, don't lock your brakes up, just ride it out. And she'd never done anything like that before. Of course, I was bad dad. And she just went head over tea kettle and landed on her face, and her tooth blew out. She's screaming and bleeding everywhere. And I took my t-shirt off, shoved it in her mouth, and I'm looking for a tooth on the ground. I thought she swallowed it because I couldn't find it, and just ran her to the hospital. Get there. Catherine's mom took her to the hospital. I ran back looking for the tooth, thinking, and I found it. And it was too late by the time we got to the hospital. So that's why she has the flipper, because I was a bad dad.
So glad we got that story.
Yeah. So, all right, let's watch some racing.
Yeah. This is where we're about to start.
No, it's priceless. It's very insightful. Ooh, where are you guys in the stream?
They just started.
They started.
Oh, I'm behind you guys. They haven't started yet. They're getting in the water.
That was a better start. Great start by Reagan again.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow.
Ooh. It's close.
Yeah, it's super tight. Close. This is tight. Yeah, tight into the 50.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. They're all out really good.
5 out. Wow.
Oh my God, this is a great race.
Yeah, I'm trying not to say anything because I know Annie's a little behind.
I am a little behind. It's okay. It's all right.
TV.
Wow, this is great. Come on, get in there. Finish it.
Oh.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh, she looks good.
Annie, where? What? How far are you in?
They've got 25 meters to go.
Okay.
All right.
So you'll see it soon.
Oh, she looks really good. Holy crap. Wow. Yay.
Yeah, okay, we're in. It's
Yeah, that's awesome.
So McEwen in for the win, 57-53 championship record. Reagan Smith silver, Catherine Berkoff bronze.
Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
just as many predicted. I mean, I think if you're an American and you make the team, you're going to medal. I mean, in the women's 100 back, they're that good.
Yep.
If you do what you're supposed to do.
Yep.
I think, it's great for Catherine to get there and get a medal.
Yeah.
I know she's itching to move up, and I think she could if she keeps working like that. So, yeah, it's great.
I think that's huge. And I know obviously she medaled last summer in the 50 back, but for her to get on the podium in an Olympic event going ahead into the Olympic year next year is huge for sure.
Yeah, for sure. She executed her start much better. Her turn was really good. She almost pulled even with Reagan.
Yeah.
Masia was not Masia. McEwen was great coming home though. I mean, the tempo I think was the difference. If you look at the tempo.
Yeah, she had a great back half. It's great to see both McEwen and Reagan on form because this is that's such a great battle. Again, McEwen was 7.5, Reagan was 7.7, and then Catherine Berkoff 58.25.
Is that a best time for her, David?
That's her second best time, but but I know she probably wanted to go 57, but I'm sure she'll take it. Yeah. Getting a medal at the World Championships is pretty darn good.
Yeah.
And she'll swim that relay. She'll swim in the morning.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And I think she's still a little bit more worried about the 100 because she just doesn't have the experience at doing the 100 like the others do. But I think her 50 comes naturally. She's the inner age grouper comes out where she just thrashes, gets the arm speed going.
Yeah, she's got that pure speed. Well, I have to say, like next summer, I don't see the final at the Olympics looking at this point much different than this. So this is about as good of experience as she's going to get going into next summer as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's odd. Masia was 57.7 last year or 57.9. I was a little, and then when she went 59.0 at her trials, I was like, ooh, is she doing the shorter yard or the shorter race focus, or has she lost focus a little bit?
So she just moved to Spain.
Okay, that's probably
Canada because Ben Titley went from head guy at Canada to head guy in Spain, and so I'm guessing that might have something to do with it.
A little disruption.
So she's still training with Ben, but yeah, obviously, first time she's lived outside of Canada. Which
she told
Canada
me she had some issues with her visa. Like she got there and they were like, get out. She was like, okay. So she told me that she was there she was bouncing around basically like all fall a little bit. Like she was there for 2 weeks and then went home for 2 weeks, then was back there for 2 weeks and was doing the World Cups and then went back there for 2 weeks, then went to Australia. Like her fall was wild.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, I don't know when exactly she figured it out there. I want to say like January or February they finally got it figured out. But yeah, she thought she had her visa figured out and they were like, she got to Spain. They're like, no.
Yeesh.
That's
stressful.
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
I thought my move was stressful, but that is stressful.
Are you guys? Are you watching the? They pulled Catherine. Catherine's going to get the on deck post race interview, which is nice.
I'm seeing a Tyrannosaurus Rex commercial right now.
I'm seeing a pro wrestling. I don't know, documentary. I mean, a fake documentary about a fake sport. I don't know.
No, I just like that they pull her in the interview and she gets the post race moment.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. She got that. I'm watching the men's backstroke now.
Yeah, me too. Watching Hunter sit down.
Oh, nice, Annie, you're caught up. I guess.
Hopefully. Let's not jinx it.
I'm looking at Hunter Armstrong.
I have to say Reagan's array of ear piercings was so impressive. You could see like 5 on each side when she was doing her on deck interview. That's totally off topic, but it was like, all right, some serious hardware.
I can't believe she can keep them all in without falling out. Mine fall out all the time.
Yeah, I can't believe she doesn't swim without her ears out during practice, because my swimmers who have lots of piercings are always putting their ears out because it hurts.
Yeah.
I wonder if she does that. That should be a good Coleman question during an interview.
In high school, yeah, I had like one cartilage piercing just like up here, and like I couldn't do it. I had to keep my ears out. But thank you, David.
That's why all my piercings are from here down. My cap would sit like right here. So this is my highest piercing right here. The rest of them are down here.
That's so funny. I didn't realize there was like a swimmer type of ear piercing, but
well,
wow.
I think we should note that Berkoff, didn't you have both ears pierced? And that was like you were like I just remember my ears were pierced. Were your ears pierced?
I had 2 in my left ear, and every once in a while I put on, Christmas party, I'll put a Christmas ball in my ear. So they still work. I just don't use them anymore.
Were you like the only guy at Harvard who did that?
There are a few of us. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was like in the 90s.
80s.
Yeah.
80s. Definitely not the 80s.
Yeah.
All right.
Not at Harvard, but elsewhere.
What do you think is happening here? Is Hunter going to do something out of lane 8, or?
I hope so. I hope he could.
Question.
Yeah. He's always.
I think Murphy's getting a medal no matter what.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah. Chacon looked really good in the prelims.
Oh my God.
He and Hunter both got kind of lucky that they snuck in. They kind of played with fire a little bit too much in prelims.
No kidding. Really pulling an Aaron Pearsall on that one. Except I guess they made the final.
Just put this in the context. He was 51.6 at World Champs last year, and so what's it like to go to? Is he cruising at 52.13? His semi swim.
I think he was 52.
He was 52.1.
Yeah, last year in semis, I don't think he was faster than that though.
So we got our middle 3 kind of pulling up on this last 25 meters. So Chacon, Murphy, and Jujiayu. Murphy's get in there. I think it's Chacon.
Hunter Armstrong's not too far out in lane 8.
Oh, sorry. Ryan Murphy. And Hunter got in for 3rd?
How did he do that?
Wow.
What?
How did he do that? He was like 5th at the flags.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Is that's his first title in the 100 back since Rio, I think.
It
is.
It
not?
I think it is.
17, 19, yeah.
Wow.
Hunter getting in for 3rd is insane to me.
I didn't even see him.
Yeah. Chacon was slower.
Chacon did not look good. I mean, he looked sluggish. That's weird.
Yeah, I'm kind of, because he looked super smooth yesterday.
Wow.
And I thought that those last 10 meters he was pulling ahead, and I thought he was going to get his hand on the wall, but Murphy, I don't even know how.
Yeah.
This is so discombobulating. I was refreshing. I'm telling everybody to refresh, and I didn't refresh. And so I refreshed because I'd stopped for a moment, and I missed the entire race.
Oh, bummer.
It feels like I've gone in. It feels like the
I
entire
had to refresh too.
I popped into a parallel universe where this was over.
So we're getting a slow-mo of the finish now.
Miss Suick from Poland was out like a rocket.
It still looked like Chacon touched first. I guess Murphy just timed to finish a tiny bit better.
It does totally looks like he touched first. Look at that.
So Hunter was
Yeah.
58 for bronze. 6/100ths ahead of Zhu Jiayu of
Wow.
China. That's crazy.
Ryan Murphy, the stalwart stock, always delivers consistently.
Yeah.
That is nuts.
He is the king of consistency. It's hard to see anyone who's had the consistency and the longevity like he has the last 10 years. You know, it's been really impressive.
Seriously, he's been going 52 low since 2015.
Yeah.
And he's just been, he's been right there every year. I think his worst year since then was 2017, where in the final he was like 4th or 5th, and he went like 52.5. I want to say, him and Grievers were 4th and 5th.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to get Mel's perspective on this. I mean, I know I could have probably kept swimming till 96 and gone to a 3rd Olympics, but I was like, I grew up on the mindset of like, if you're not getting better, why do it? If you're not improving times. And so like, you know, I was 54.5 with the underwater and 88 and 54.6 and 92 without it. And I thought that was an improvement, but I didn't feel like I could get much better. And so that was one of the reasons I got out. Plus the money wasn't there. You know, if I could make a living being a swimmer back in 92 and keep going, I would have stayed in for 10 more years. But there was also one part of me saying, well, I don't think I'm going to get any better. And, you know, swimming hard hurts. Do you think, you know, swimmers these days are okay with kind of riding that plateau and maybe kicking out a best time here and there as their career is kind of coming toward its end? I mean, what do you think? And maybe some of our younger people on the here could give us some perspective too. I don't know.
I'm not younger. I can't answer this question. Annie,
Mel did swim till 96, and then he almost made an Olympic team.
I almost made an Olympic team. I was arrogant and didn't do a full taper. While we have you, let me answer. I want Annie to answer that question, but while we have you, you know, none of us have the experience. No one has the experience in the last 50 years. Maybe I don't know. We could say maybe Ryan Lochte, but it's not nearly as applicable. It didn't happen in his prime, where you're great, and they change the rules because you're so great. So when you were at full power as a talent, the rule was changed to limit what you were doing, your innovation in the Berkoff blast off, which is you have to say that. Annie, I can say that watching swimming through the lens of SwimSwam, yes, it seems like if you can go Olympics after Olympics after Olympics, and you can stay on, you know, sort of, you're always within distance of your PBs, it's worth it. You're always achieving mastery and doing new and innovative things, and you don't know, you might bump up with a new coach and learn something new. I think it's worth it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would agree with that. I think it's all about where you think your body's at, and it's hard to think about other people or think about what other people are doing, but it also depends on where your competition's at, you know, too. I mean, for me personally, when I was thinking about retirement, the 200 breaststroke, I mean, obviously Lily's only 2.5 years younger than me, but when I was Lily's age, that was the year I went to the Olympics, was 20, I think she's 26. Yeah, 26. I was at the Olympics at 26. So, and I was still going 220. So, I mean, for me, like swimming a 200 breaststroke is not as favorable for a 28-year-old as it is for a 21-year-old or a 22-year-old, or the 100 as a 19-year-old or a 21-year-old. You know what I mean? So I feel like I'm really lucky that still at 26, I was going best times in both of my events. I feel really fortunate about that. I don't think that that's very common, but I think that that's the reason why I had so much longevity. And I think I didn't have the same trajectory as a lot of other people did. I didn't really like blast off in college. So I think I just consistently got a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better. And I was fortunate enough for USA Swimming, even for someone like me, just coming out of college when I was like scraping into the top 16 in the world, but was still like 4th in my country, I was still able to get a little bit of funding, and I club coached on the side. Like I was able to do it, I was able to make it work. And some people, there's not that opportunity, So I think it's all about, kind of everything coming together perfectly also as well too. But I think for me, it was just a matter of like, if my body could still do it, what my competition looks like. And for me, the most important thing really that kind of made that decision for me was like, I knew if I retired at trials this summer or the day after Paris next year, I wouldn't feel any differently about my career. And I think that was the deciding factor for me. So.
I think most athletes, when they get into their 20s and early 30s, they know when it's time. I mean, mentally for me, I knew when it was time. I knew that was it. I could keep doing it physically, but I think mentally I was like, yeah, I'm ready to move on. So
and I had retired before after college in 2016 for like a little over a year, and I still had that like unsettled feeling about it pretty much the whole time. So this time around, I do not feel that way at all, and I'm still around high level swimming every day. So some people that might be kind of a double-edged sword, but for me, I don't feel that way at all now. And I think the last Olympic cycle, we had 2 Olympic years instead of 1. So I know like the last Olympic cycle was a bit more of a outlier. But it took so much from us, like emotionally and mentally and physically, that I just didn't know if I could do that again. Like, I didn't know if I could do it again. It was so taxing. And I definitely feel like I was feeling that a year or 2 afterwards, that my body just was starting to give out. It took a lot from us, So I feel like people don't really like recognize that now, like kind of the whiplash from that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
No, we were feeling the stress and the strain from elites moving through the pandemic, and they, behind the scenes, they would let us know, hey, this is we were hearing it. Mental health has become that has been a big part of the conversation more and more and more.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, COVID messed up a lot of people. Our generation, though, Mel, the coaches would have just yelled at us, like, man up, and it was a different time for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, we also, I think I like that. I don't think that was healthy for our bodies or our nervous systems. Yeah. I don't think it was good. I think it fried our vagal nerves, and I don't think that's good for your health.
Yeah, totally.
And I don't want to see that.
I mean, now we still have, at U.S. trials a month ago, we still have lots and lots of top athletes talking about how the pandemic affected them and how they're feeling those effects now, whether they're in a good place or not as good of a place, wherever they're at, it's like they're still processing that because it had such a deep impact that's carried over years at this point. Sorry, I want to also point out this comment. I wonder if Ledecky has an eBay shop for all her stuffed animals from her podium appearances.
She'd make a lot of money.
Does she have a room in her house just dedicated to stuff?
You're right. Does she have a Cody Miller room? Oh, have you been in that room, Annie?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, it's unreal. Like, you have spent, like, just looking at all the things that are framed and now knowing how much it costs to frame things like that. Yeah. Like, when I got my Olympic flag framed, it was like $450. So his room, just in framing, I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know.
You can calculate it up. You can start
all
doing
that
math
stuff.
in your head.
I don't have all that stuff. Like, he kept all of it.
I know. I never, when I would get ribbons, it's like, I don't care. Obviously, I didn't get ribbons anywhere near the caliber of Cody's, but yeah, it's impressive that he's.
It is really cool, though. It's really cool. It does look really cool. Yeah.
So, are you guys on 200 free walkouts?
I am.
I'm still on a commercial.
Googly Pub says Cody needs a frame sponsor, which I'm sure he could get.
For sure.
I wonder if that exists. It's kind of like yogurt sponsoring swimming, right, Mel? I think Cody's a good buy for a framing company.
Cody's a great buy for everything. I love Cody. I think Cody's one of the best things that's happened in swimming.
Yeah, he's done a really good job at like creating his own. He really just started doing all of this really because he enjoys videography so much. I mean, I'm sure you guys have probably talked to him about this. He enjoys movies and videography and everything that goes behind that so much that that's really why he started doing it, because he was like, I need something to do outside of practice. Like, I just want to do something fun. And like, I don't think he really expected it was going to take off like that, you know?
Well, and it's funny because to David's point of, just kind of staying in swimming, he was doing that so that he had something outside of swimming, like when he started, right? To kind of focus on not swimming. And now it seems like that has kept him in swimming in part, not fully, but it's like,
yes,
that's.
And I mean, like, for what he's been doing, for him to go 59, what was it, 59.7 at trials or something like that? Wildly impressive. That's all I have to say.
Well, we got to share the metrics. Here's the thing: he went that swim, and he wasn't the star of that moment of that event, but I think he got the most views and the most traction in terms of audience. People were so pumped that he did that.
On our YouTube, his interview was the most watched video of the meet, I think, outside of Caleb Dressel's interview.
Wow.
Yeah. Legit star.
I like knowing stuff like that.
Yeah. Like and that's because A, he's an older dude going 59 breast, but B, it's because people love Cody because of the following he's amassed and because of who he is in our sport now.
For sure.
I never fully understood him, and it was years ago. And we invited him to come speak to all of the old Olympians at our alumni get together, and no one has ever done this before. And we're like in a room with and there's like 100 Olympic medals in this room, and he's got to address all these old people, and give them some insight and make them feel good. He stands up on his chair, his voice booms, and he owned that room for 10 minutes. And I'm like, I've been doing this for a decade. I've never seen someone do that. This guy is oozing with charisma and so authentic and real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a unique dude. It's not just on video. He can bring it. He can bring it in a speech.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Where are we at in the string?
I'm at 175 meters of this first semifinal. Summer McIntosh and Siobhan Howie are owning. I want Summer to do so badly to do well. For the rest of this meet.
Yeah, she had a really tough 400. I felt for her. Maybe the pressure got to her. I don't know. Yeah. But that was a really smooth looking 154.
I think a 154. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's 154? Very solid. Add some context to this. How do you go? The world record and then fall. What she was 359 in the 400.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. What happened there?
I maybe being young and having so much pressure on you, when you get in the race and you realize you're not going to win, there's like a, physical letdown in the pool. I just don't think she's not fit or she's sick. I think that had to be kind of the race getting to her somehow emotionally in the race and just kind of half shutting down. I just think the pressure got to her. She's 16 years old. I can't imagine having the weight of a country on you. You're going to win 4 golds, and she drops her first race, and so now the pressure's on her for 3. And I just think it's a little unfair, but it's had that kind of level of expectation when you're going up against, Ariane Titmus, who. She's like a pit bull, and when Summer took down Ariane's record that she was took from Ledecky, I think that just fueled the fire for Titmus. And I'm sure Boxall was like telling her, saying, hey, Summer did that better every day. And, so I think it was kind of a perfect storm for that. I'd love to see McIntosh just, come back in the 200 and the 4 IM and kind of put up some big ones.
And I think maybe as well too, like people, I think were just really excited about Summer. They're really excited, just as fans of the sport, they were excited about her, who wouldn't be? So I think that maybe that was reflected onto her as pressure instead of just just continuing to do what she does and just swim. She's 16. So I think that's definitely that could definitely be a part of it as well too. And obviously Summer's not inexperienced. This is her second Worlds, and she's been to an Olympics already at 16 years old, and she's already broken a world record. But when you're going up against the likes of Ariarne and Katie, who she's been idolizing, both of them probably for the majority of her life, it can really come full circle and be a lot in that moment. Because obviously, whether she picked the 2 IM or the 4 free on that first day, those two races, no matter which one she picked, were going to be the most hyped races of the meet, in my opinion. So, and she was a large part of the reasoning for both of those, if I had to take a guess, that would get to me too if I were her at 16.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. No doubt.
Absolutely. And this was, like you said, she has international experience, but this was her first meet coming in as a world record holder, as a favorite. Yeah.
100%. Last year, I mean, she went 3:59 last year at Worlds, but like Katie was not so far ahead of her, but Katie was still the overwhelming favorite,
Yeah.
So Summer could sneak in going 3:59 and, all eyes weren't on Summer. She could just go and swim and have a good race, so I think it was a little bit different this year,
Yeah, if she won a medal last year, it's like, okay, yeah, woo,
we did it.
And it's like, you're right. And if she doesn't win gold this year, it's like, what's going on? But
yeah, I think that we got kind of spoiled with Phelps, where everything he touched seemed to be magic, and the guy seemed to have a spine made of Teflon and titanium. I mean, never rattled, never seemed like it. The more pressure you put on, the better he did. I mean, this is hard. I mean, we can all attest to that. 3 of us who've been there at this level. It's not easy. I'm not trying to pick on you, Coleman. It's just the pressure that you're under at this level is just incredible. And we all as fans want to see world records in every race, but it's just not possible. There's a dynamic that's in every race and in every event as you're getting to the meet and as you're at the meet that it just unfolds in ways that we just don't imagine for many different reasons.
Listen, David, I made the B final at sectionals. All right.
Yeah.
I've been there.
You've been there.
Sorry. Yes.
Ariana Titmus at the 100. Where are you guys in the stream?
Yep, I'm there.
I'm still pretty far behind, but this is a great heat right here with Molly Titmus and Freya Anderson split 52.5 on their relay on the first night. So I think she's in for a good swim as well too.
And I don't know if you saw who was leading at the 100.
Yeah, at the 150, it's really tight.
Yeah,
the field's starting to catch Bella a little bit.
Bella's up there.
Yeah, she's still up there. She's hanging on.
Come on, Bella, hang on.
Bella Sims has the consistently fastest reaction time of basically anyone. She was 0.56 off of the blocks here. And I think she's been under 0.6 like a few times between trials and this meet, which is like unheard of. Right? I mean, like faster than 0.6 is like, that's like almost a false start.
All right, Bella got in for third.
Yeah, that was a really good swim by Bella.
Yeah, great swim for Bella.
Is that a PR? I think it is. Was she under?
Yeah. She's only been 55 on a relay.
Yeah. So she was
Mhm.
56.0 or 56.2 at trials, and that's
Mhm.
55. That's great.
Mhm. Great
Nice.
swim for Bella.
Claire Weinstein in the heat before was 6th. I don't know what she went, but I'm not
She was a
optimistic
gonna
about
be
that.
out.
7.0.
Yeah.
Gonna be out. Good swim for Bella though. I made a joke to Ron before she was swimming at trials. He was like 3 people down from me. I was like, Ron, that's our swimmer. He didn't like that joke very much.
Annie, I don't know if you can confirm or deny this, so you can pass. Do we know if Bella is coming to Florida in the fall?
I don't know if I can speak on that, but
Okay, fair
Um,
enough.
yeah.
Fair enough.
I don't know how much I can speak on that though.
Yeah, totally fine. I don't want to make trouble. I was just
Yeah,
curious
I'm not trying to cause
if there
trouble.
was
But
news on that. All right,
yeah, I'm
perfect.
not trying to cause trouble, but yeah.
we'll talk
well
to
handled, Annie.
the powers that be. So this is the other thing that people don't realize about you is that when you retired, you were for a year you were a director of ops under Dave Durden at Cal.
I know.
And so you have experience managing a team that no other coach has because coaches don't normally do that.
Yes. So I did that. I did not travel with swimming, but I traveled with, I still worked for Dave, but I also was the director of operations for beach volleyball actually, which I think was really the perfect first job in that situation because beach volleyball only travels 12 girls. So that was a really good first experience at 22 years old. Like it's a very chill sport. Like the head coach, I'm still really good friends with her. She was like 28, so she's really awesome. But yeah, I got to do that as well too. And when I saw Dave at trials, after the news had gotten out that I had accepted a coaching job, he was really excited and was like, I know like you probably don't feel this way, but I feel like whenever like someone moves on like from Cal into another coaching position, I always feel like we had a part in that. And I'm like, of course you did, Dave. Like I'm so grateful to be able to have worked for him. He's just a good guy. So yeah, but yeah, I was out there for a year doing operations. So I do like to, I don't have this platform very much, and I don't like to, I don't like to let other people's comments get to me. But when people say I'm not very experienced, I don't really think they have the full picture. So yeah.
And that, as someone who gets a little more insight, as someone who gets to interview a lot of elite athletes like this, I certainly take that personally because a lot of the times they don't know what's gone into the past 11 years of your career.
Yes.
So
yeah, and I think I'm way more ready for this now than I would have been if I had accepted a coaching job at 22 years old, 23 years old. The position that I've been in at Indiana the last few years, I don't want to make this about someone else's shortcomings, but I think the female that was on staff there was just kind of a disconnect between her. She struggled to have a relationship that really connected well with the personalities of the girls on our team. So I think Lily and I really stepped into that role the last couple of years of kind of being that for them. And I think post-Olympics, that's been like the thing I've enjoyed the most about my career is stepping into that role. And it kind of made me realize over the last couple of years, like these girls deserve more than this from someone on the staff and from someone like in a role that can kind of be that liaison between other girls on the team, between other coaches that they're having conversations with. At the end of the day, if they would ever come up to me with issues they would have with Ray or with anyone, which was very few and far between, I'll say. The end of the day, I'm always Team Ray. He's my partner in my career, but I have such a great relationship with him and we communicate so well together that I was able to kind of foster how they should approach a situation with him And that's something that over the last 2 years of my career, when I felt like I'd really accomplished everything that I was going to accomplish in my career, that was kind of what I took the most from being there the last couple of years. And it made me realize like, maybe I could be like a decent coach. I don't know. Like, so I think that's what I enjoyed the most the last couple of years. So yeah.
Talking to you guys is better than watching world champs. This has been great.
Dave, did you see the medal ceremony, or was it commercial rolling when you were?
I caught the back end. I didn't see her getting her medal.
I'm watching. I'm watching. I was able
I
to
just saw the presentation.
Well, I'm God, that's got to feel good.
What
It
an
does.
awesome
I
feeling.
mean, no, I'm obviously pulling for next year to do the same thing or something better. It'd be really cool to have a father-daughter Olympians, in the same stroke. I know it's been done in swimming before, but I don't know if it's been done in the same stroke yet. So it'd be kind of fun.
No, we always think of the Hall family, the Gary Hall dynasty, and
But
yeah, they were different. They were very different animals. They're very different people.
Dad was not a sprinter.
No.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to see. And I tell people, what was it like coaching your daughter? And I say it was pretty easy because I knew what not to do, but also because she's always been so motivated. I've had to hold her back, like she's like a charging horse when she was growing up, wanting to do more all the time. And I'm like, no, you can't go to morning practice when you're 12. You got to wait until you're in high school and things like that. And it's always been her. I've never put any pressure on her. It's always like this was her thing. But she also had a huge advantage because of who I was. I was able to have, a lot of Olympians come and stay at our house. And I got to know and get a really good friendship with Aaron Pearsall. So Aaron would come on ski vacations with us. And so Catherine grew up knowing Aaron pretty well and thinking, oh, everybody has parents with friends who were Olympians. And so she had a really unique upbringing, thinking in her head that Olympics, World Championships, world records, that's normal. And so we didn't have this big mental jump for her for her greatness was always there in front of her. And so it was easy to accept that was possible. I don't know if I'm saying it the right way, but she had that really big advantage that, I mean, I'm just realizing now how much of a big advantage that was. So I'm not saying to, swim parents out there, you should go find yourself a local Olympian and hang out all the time, but didn't hurt, that's for sure.
You can rent yourself a local Olympian. It's kind of funny. I do think that the beauty of swim is that where it is one place, it is one culture and community where Olympians are so accessible. And as we develop and you move through the ranks, you do see stars, and you realize quickly they're human beings, and they'll talk to you, and they're nice, and I feel like we have an interface that's a lot better in our sport than in other sports, but not on family vacations. That's with Aaron Pearsall. I'd have gotten giddy about Aaron Pearsall.
Yeah.
Where are we in the stream?
What are we watching? Oh, Two Fly.
Two Fly semifinals for me are walking out.
Yeah.
I just want you guys I just want everybody to know that's listening right now that, I mean, I understand that the jealousy, and because everyone knows that all the other events are garbage, and this is the only one that really matters.
Well, it's the second most important race, right?
What are you talking about? There he is. I'm watching right now. Heilman's walking out. Our youngest man. It's 16 years old. Is he in this semi with Marchand?
No, he's in with Carson. Marchand's in the next one.
Gotcha.
And if Thomas Heilman gets second in this swim, it does not mean he won a silver medal.
Stop it. I'm awake now. I've been awake for at least an hour. Yeah, but I was kind of, I feel like just the fact that he's walking out and just the fact that he's here at 16, I feel like this is a huge step forward and a big gain for this summer for him. Well, it's interesting. It's like that's the metric for success for him, and he's 16, and you think of Summer McIntosh with so much pressure at 16.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't convinced Heilman was not just a really freakish age group swimmer, but when he made the team, I was like, wow, this kid's for real. Wow.
Mhm.
And his poise at age 16 is incredible.
Mhm.
Really mature. So I'm a fan now. I'm an impressed fan.
Mhm.
I love, they just showed Carson, and I love his little pre-race thing. He always like does this with his hands on his chest. My idiosyncrasies of athletes is like one of my favorite things to notice. Like just like little weird things or like habits they have behind the blocks.
He does that for his grandfather, I think.
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
didn't even realize there was a reason behind it.
there's a reason for it. Yeah, I think it's for his. I think it's for his grandpa. I'm pretty sure, like
That's
80% sure.
And that's why you're here, Annie, because
I'm here to
you
give the
can
inside
provide you can provide all the knowledge we don't have.
scoop.
All right. Noe Ponti is out first.
He is out like a rocket.
24.6. Yeah, I'm always nervous when people go out in the two fly like that.
I always forget that he's also such a good two flyer. I just think of him as a great 100 flyer. And I forget that I feel like the 100 fly and the 200 fly have become so separated over the last few years. And you forget that sometimes guys can do both.
Yeah,
Well,
especially on the men's side, it seems like it's become more
especially on the
specialized.
men's side. Yes.
Yeah, he reminds me a lot of Chad Leclos or Zheng Yufei on the women's side, where like he's a threat 50 to 200. He can kind of do it all.
Yeah.
Just depending on the day. But at the 100, he's kind of in the lead. But now Carson
is coming on
asserting
strong.
himself, heading into the 150.
Heilman's in it for third right now as well too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think he's pacing himself off Ponte. It seems like it.
Oh my God! That underwater by Heilman.
Great underwater for Heilman.
He's in second.
15 meters.
Yeah.
That was
so Hungary.
Watch
Hungary
him
out in lane
close.
lane 1 is having a great swim.
Wow, yeah, he is. He's coming back like a freight train.
Heilman is doing that's a fast last 50. I'd like to see a split on that.
Wow.
So Heilman third. Martin
like
of Hungary out lane 1 a second.
A 16-year-old doing that at the world stage and just composed and not freaking out that he's getting, killed the first 100. That's beautiful. I mean,
it is to have that underwater at the 150 wall by anyone is insane.
He doesn't even look tired. Man.
He's not. He's 16.
Yeah, he's not tired.
He's not tired. He's 16. He's
probably gonna go back to his hotel and play like 15 hours of Game Boy, right? Yeah.
Great. You think they're still Game Boys?
I know. Okay, I'm talking Game Boy, and
literally.
I'm like what we're like 4 generations past Xbox, right? I
think so.
I know how I am.
So at trials in the final to make the team, Heilman was 154.54. They haven't showed the times yet, but I'm guessing he went something really close to that.
Yeah. I think he was quite close to that. Yeah, because Carson was 53.8.
53.85.
He was maybe half a body length behind him.
Yeah.
So my biggest pet peeve with this production is that they don't show the times. I've been screaming at the TV many times about show us the time. So if you guys know anybody at World Aquatics or whoever's doing the production, could you
put in a word with Mike Unger is really the only one I know. I'll put in a word.
I don't understand why we don't have metrics that live on screen that tell us 3/100ths off his personal best. He's 154.57 for third, Heilman. So he's 0.3 off that. That's that's my concern as a 16-year-old. It's like, can you do a PB? If he can go to World Championships and just get a PB, that's another huge gain. But it looks like he's turned on. I bet his final is going to be popping.
Oh yeah. He's got a whole 24 hours of rest. He's
got a whole 24 hours.
I think the only thing that like needs to be said for him at this point is don't change anything.
No.
I feel like at that first level experience, like you might think like, okay, I got to be a hero now. I have to take it out way faster than I did in semis. Like, don't change anything. Like that's not gonna being a hero is not gonna help you. Like in having that mentality, I don't really think at this stage in his career is really gonna pay dividends at this point. Just keep everything the same, and I think it'll still be a good swim.
You know what's funny is that he's an elite. I mean, he's really an elite, like an elite on a level that is like he's battle tested. The guy broke 14 national age group records at the age of 14 across 3 events. He went to U.S. Open, then like flew back and did a relay, and then went to junior nationals.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
But that was in the span of 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It was 14 nags in 11 days.
Mm-hmm.
And those are hard nags. These are like iconic athletes that he's taken down each time.
Yeah.
So I think swimming 200 butterfly 3 times is probably like, yeah, I got this.
Yeah.
Your point of reference is like, he can in his head say, well, this is nothing compared to when I was feeling so tired of juniors after 3 other meets.
I'm legitimately like really worried when a 16-year-old is competing. You're like, you really want them to have a good experience because it sets them up for the future so well. And then I'm sitting here thinking, wait a minute. Yeah, he's so battle tested. Yeah, 3 200 flies is nothing.
Wow. I think Leon Marchand is a strings out guy. I don't think he tucked his strings in.
Wait a minute. That's a really important piece of information, Coleman.
Almost as important as reaction time, right?
That's right. So they're in the water for heat 2. It's so weird not having Milak here, not only because we're used to seeing him, but because Carson won that first semi in 153.8, and then there were a few other guys who went 154, and you're kind of like, oh, that's kind of like, because I'm thinking like, where's the 150, and then it's like, oh right, no one's gonna go 150 here because Christoph Milak's not here.
Right.
I'm curious about Marchand's underwaters through this entire 200 fly. It's just, is he gonna stay down 15 meters the entire way? All 4
Did he on that one? I missed it.
He was about 12 and a half, 13 meters. I mean, he could have maybe taken one more, but.
Hang on.
I think he Phelpses it. I think he kind of chills on this one. And then the last one, he'll really stay under. Yeah. So Italy's out fast. Cheminsky, that's how I'm going to pronounce his name because I don't know how else to, is right in there. And then Tamara Honda and Leon are also there too.
Cheminsky's doing a lot of looking around.
He's staying down now. He stayed down on that one. Now it's about 12 meters. Right.
Chmielewski.
Wow.
Chmielewski.
The tight
It is. Lane 1 looks good. Oh, that's Ilya Karun. Oh, Ilya's coming on.
He's going to have a strong last 50 too.
Yeah, I had him in my Pickham's game, so you better get up there.
154.21. Wow, that it's they look a little bit like they're swimming uphill, but their entry on their hands is way out here, so far out. Phelps, when Phelps entered in fly, he was about here. They look like they're further out on their catch on the front end of their fly.
And
Someone
what do
tell
you
them
think
they're
that
not doing
says
it like
about
Phelps.
butterfly? Interesting. So Carson's going to go in as the top seed. Ilya Karun got in there for second in this heat. Wow, that's a tight heat.
What do we think was Leon's exertion level on this swim?
Heart rate 120.
I don't know. I think he was higher than that, but there's a lot more in the tank.
125.
Dude, I don't think you have a good gauge on what heart rates mean, Mel.
He's thinking about his 56-year-old heart rate, right?
No, I could never get my heart rate. It was so hard to get it above 150. Like there were people that looked like their face would turn purple and they were going to pop and have a heart attack. In workouts or races, and I could never get my heart rate above 150. It was so hard. But I'm half kidding. No, I do think I'm always checking heart rates on mid-distance swimmers, especially.
I would like to say 80% exertion level.
He wasn't going full throttle. It was like 2 enough.
Yeah. And we also have to,
yeah.
I'm
thinking it's a 152 plus is absolutely going to win this race.
Yeah.
I'd say 152.0 to 152.5.
Yeah.
So interesting. 154.9 to make the final.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, wow. I'm not. Where's Heilman?
So that's pretty quick.
I mean,
Mel, you wouldn't have been anywhere close to that.
Stop it.
Yeah, that heat was a bit deeper than the heat before that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I missed it on the refresh. Where's Heilman?
He's seventh.
Oh wow.
Heilman's swimming a final. Of course he is.
He's swimming a final.
Heilman's swimming a final. Is Heilman 6 feet? Is he 5'11" or 6 feet?
And he looks taller than 6.
So
I think he's 6 feet. I don't really know, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I think 6 feet, but he's definitely maybe 6'1", but not taller than that. Like he's not short, but not tall. Yeah.
He swims like he's 6'4". You know,
he does.
His vertical leap's 46 inches.
I mean, so the interesting thing here is that Heilman was 7th at 54.5. Leon was 2nd at 54.2.
Yeah.
So, I mean, theoretically, that could be an exceedingly tight heat. But I think you guys are spot on. 152 plus wins. But now the real event, the women's 100 breaststroke.
Here we go.
Final.
So what do we think? Do we think Amelia Tete's prelim swim was a flex, or was it too much, or was she too excited, or is she just gonna blow everybody away? I mean,
is this
Annie,
Ruda?
you gotta have some thoughts.
I think Ruda didn't really know what she was gonna get, honestly. Yeah. So she went all out in prelims because Ruda is such an enigma. She went 108 6 weeks ago at Mare Nostrum. And then she drops a 104 in prelims at World Championships. Like, I don't think any of us expected her to drop that. I will say I watched her semi swim yesterday. She looked like she shut it down quite a bit the last 15 meters. She was 5.0. Yeah. Lily texted me yesterday, and I was like, how'd it feel? You looked really good, whatever. It looked like you controlled the first 50 really well. She goes, I think I controlled it a little bit too much. I got to find that line between 2017 me when I would just rip it and go out in 29.8 and kind of this like back half that I've been really feeling lately. I gotta find an in between for tomorrow night. Yeah. She goes, also, I think Ruda could kill me with a plastic spoon. So there's that.
Yeah.
So just some humor for this high pressure race.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so Ruda is out at the 25 meters. Her start and first 15, kind of like Nick Fink, is always so good.
Mm-hmm.
Lily looks controlled that first 50. She's running right up there on Ruta's hip at second.
Wow.
I think it's hard to
And
know
Lydia's
from
30.
Tatiana and Lydia, honestly. I don't really know how much Lydia's got left in the tank. She looked sluggish in prelims. She kind of scraped in a little bit in semis, but she looks good out there as well, too.
Yeah. Okay, 75 meters, Ruta is dominating. Mona McSherry's coming on. Wow, Mona McSherry's really coming on. 104.6. Whoa.
Oh,
Mhm.
wow.
Yeah.
Whoa. Tatiana for second and Lydia for third.
Wow.
I didn't even.
Wow.
We're
Tatiana
fighting
came
these-
out of nowhere.
Yeah. Wow.
Lydia just, I don't know where she was not even in it with a 15 meters to go.
Mm-mm. Which I guess is what happens.
What happened to Mona the last 5 meters, honestly?
I know. I swore she was there for second and then no more. Wow.
Great close for Lydia. I love Lily is like one of my favorite athletes because she always lets you know where she's at. You know, she's just I feel like she's just one of the great sports women. I just love her interviews. What's going through her head right now? How is she? I know she's extraordinarily resilient, but how does she take this experience moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, she's definitely not happy right now. She's definitely someone that emotionally will kind of keep her cards close to her chest like immediately after, and then as time goes on, she'll kind of open up a little bit more about it. Like at the Olympics when she got bronze in the 100. She actually, which was the most vulnerability I'd ever heard from Lily when it came to her own swimming. After semis of the 100, we were on the bus together or something, and she goes, "Tomorrow's going to be the hardest 100 breast of my life." That's what she said. And so for Lily to say that is like, whoa, like that means that it really actually is going to be the hardest 100 of her life. So I think after that race in Tokyo, she bounced back unbelievably well in the 200. But I definitely think it took some time for her to really mentally kind of get the wheels turning on what that race meant for her emotionally and how hard it was for her. So I think that experience was really her first like experience where she realized she was human. And so I think moving forward here, especially after the summer she had last summer, as well too, getting COVID like 3 weeks before Worlds, I think here she's going to be disappointed for sure because she was ready to go. She was 104 at trials, so she's ready to go. So I know her and Ray will talk about it, but I don't think that's cause for concern for her 200 at all.
Yeah, I was just about to say, is this just a function of like, hey, you got to do a second taper, and we need,
Yeah, 1060. She's not going to be happy with the 1060 for sure. I know she's not going to be happy with it just because she swum a time. Tatiana was 105.8 for silver, and she's been faster than that so many times this year. So I think that's what she's going to be the most disappointed about. I think she knew that if Ruta was on world record watch, I think she knew that that was going to be tough to race against. But I don't think that race is indicative of where she's at right now. I think she's really learning how to swim the race differently right now. We saw that at trials. And we saw that honestly yesterday too. She was out in 1.0 and back in 34.3. So that's quite a different race strategy for her. So I think maybe she was just thinking a little bit too much in this one, which is very uncharacteristic for her. But I don't think it's indicative of what we're going to see from the rest of the week for her. But Also a very gutsy swim for Lydia to get on the podium. I know I don't know how happy Lydia will be with the time per se, but I think just after completely missing the team last year, I knew when she got to Texas, she would be just fine. I can't imagine winning a gold medal and then going back to Seward, Alaska for my senior year. Like, I cannot imagine. Like,
Well,
that must have been mentally.
She went home. She went home and she did what you're doing right now. She was sitting in your chair during World Championships. She was on the live stream. She was cool. She showed up and ate breakfast every day.
Yep, she did. You know, like it's just the name of the game. Like you can't just expect to be on the team every summer when you're competing for the United States. Like, it's someone's all and honestly, the 100th this year, like Caitlin Dobler went 105.4 for third. I think that was a very overlooked swim at trials. A very overlooked swim. Lydia and Lily do not have those two spots locked up next summer by any means.
Especially because Caitlin had got third at trials last year too.
She did. Yeah. And almost a whole, like, what did I go at trials last year? 106.0? 106.1? So she was slower than that. So she was almost a second faster this year and still got third. You know, she's gonna be hungry next year. But I think it's a great mental swim for Lydia, I think, to get back on the podium after really not being at a major meet for the last 18 months, honestly. So I think that's a great mental swim for her. Lily's mature enough now to know what she did wrong in that race, if anything. And I don't think that's indicative of what we're going to see from her moving forward.
We have some comments about the Russian results. Just so you guys know, Braden Keith's covering that, so that's going to be we're going to see those results reported.
Oh wow! I didn't even realize there was a Russian meet happening.
Yeah, no, Braden will cover it, but it's SwimSwam. This will be assigned and it'll be covered. It's already been assigned. I've seen it in the background. So. That's it. I think it's so special that you guys both came on today. We got the most expert breaststroke analysis that we could get possibly in the universe, and we got this heartwarming moment from Mr. Berkoff, my lovely former relay teammate.
Yep. For sure.
I feel like we're blessed to have David here. I can't believe he came on here while his daughter's swimming a world's final in the 100 back. I don't know if I'd be able to do that.
if I wasn't coaching and I'm in the middle of a 4-week stint, I leave this morning for futures and then a juniors, and I just got done our state meet and another invitational before that. So if I wasn't doing this, I'd probably be in Japan.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, hopefully you'll be able to go to Paris next summer.
Yeah, that's definitely on the short list.
Good. No meets next summer during that time.
Nope.
Seriously. Well, yeah, awesome. Thank you all so much for joining. Thank you everyone for tuning in. And we will see everyone tomorrow. Thanks, Annie. Thanks, David.
Thanks guys. Appreciate it.